We're back to feature Bones, the 16-year-old green iguana from Honduras. His characteristics suggest that he is from the kind of Honduras, Guatemala region of South America or Latin America. And wanted to show you in this video the end result of the surgery that he had shortly after I got him when he was about three and a half years old. He had this mass that I felt in his abdomen, and I thought it was, well, you know what, I didn't even know what it was. And I took it to the vet, and the vet thought that it was actually like a tumor or cancer, because it was just enormous, but it wouldn't reduce when you pressed on it, so it wouldn't get soft. It was actually like a hard rock. So took an x-ray, and lo and behold, Bones here had a massive bladder stone, which was actually the result of all the vitamins that we were feeding him. It formed a precipitate. His body couldn't digest the precipitate. It was like a white powder that developed into, ready for this? That. Now look at the size of this thing. Now picture a bladder. Okay, now look at this thing. It's kind of nasty, but I'll touch it and then I'll wash my hands. But just look at the size of his head. He's going to close his eyes for us. Look at that. Imagine having a stone, because he was only 3, the size of your head or bigger, in your bladder. Now his bladder's somewhere, oh, I don't know, somewhere down there. And it's usually probably about, oh, that big, maybe that big when it's full of pee. Now look at this thing. So by all rights, he should have ruptured and he should have just bled out long before I even got to take care of him, because he was being fed these bird vitamins, which are a special blend to rehabilitate his bones, because he had this bone mineral disease from being improperly housed with no special light. Like, I don't know if you can see. Ooh, that's pretty bright, but that's a sun glow light, and it's got some special properties like the sun has, because he's supposed to be outside. Aren't ya? Aren't ya? It's like, ew, don't touch me with that nasty hand. I'll touch with the back of my hand. And so when we found out that he needed surgery, it was going to be like $1,000, and I really wasn't into spending $1,000, but there was something about this guy that said that, you know what, he's come this far. He was rehabilitated from essentially having complete bone loss, like super duper mega osteoporosis. And I wanted to do everything I could, so my wife was behind me, and we spent the dough, and the surgery is pretty hard for an iguana because any anesthetic given to a cold-blooded animal is very hard to get the proper dosage. So if you give too much, he doesn't wake up and you kill him. If you don't give him enough, then you go to take the scalpel and slice his abdomen open to remove the stone, and Mr. Bones would have been up and awake and saying, "What the heck?" So it was really risky, and the vet told me this on the way into the surgery. But lo and behold, he came out of the surgery. The stone was removed. From what I understand, the largest stone ever removed in veterinary medicine history for a reptile. I don't know how many of those were actually done. But I don't know, you can see my hand's pretty big, and this is like, you know, not quite the size of a, probably is almost as big as a racquetball. So he came out from, he's just chilling. He's chilling. Came out from surgery and started eating within like 6 hours. And I think that's why Bones has survived this long through all the stuff that he's been through, because he has this amazing appetite. As you can see, the bowl is pretty big, and he eats a really large amount of kale and romaine lettuce and carrots and anything that we can throw at him. Peppers. He's not a big fan of bananas or kind of the mushy stuff, but he likes grapes and cherries and raspberries, and he's just a total kind of herbivore like that. He, as a juvenile, he would have been eating mealworms and things like that, but then iguanas eventually can go on to a 100% herbivore diet as long as you're giving enough calcium and other vitamins. But actually, I don't even give him any more vitamins because of what happened with this monster. So he's just been an amazing pet. It's really part of the family. You kind of look at him. He kind of looks at you like he knows what's going on. Like, yeah, you're in my house and you got this camera in my face, and you know, you done? Because you know I'm eating or digesting. So that's the story of Bones and his surgery, his $1,000 surgery. It's really the only vet care, knock on wood, that we've had to do with him. So we're pretty fortunate, because when something goes wrong with these guys, it can be pretty expensive just for the exploratory, and a lot of people just choose not to do it, and they end up really suffering. But I'm with this guy to the end, and we're quite the happy pair. So lots of petting, lots of attention, lots of speaking to, and good food and proper housing. So all of you thinking about having an iguana, if you want to email me with any tips, any questions, I can certainly give you my experience with Bones and other iguanas that I've had. Nothing to the extent of the longevity that he's displayed, or health. So I'd love to help you along, and it's certainly not for the weekend enthusiast. This is kind of a you know, full-time commitment. But I can give you any tips that you want, or talk you into it, or talk you out of it. There's certainly a lot of iguanas that can be adopted at this point, and with a good home and proper attention, these guys really thrive, and they're just incredibly rewarding to wake up and go to bed with this guy in our dwelling. So, all right, well, for Bones and for me, we bid you farewell until the next video. Thanks.